Site. All right, we'll call the meeting to order tonight. Thank you for attending. Looks like we have a full slate of all 9 in attendance. First order of business is to offer up the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you'd join me. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
All right, thanks, everyone. First item of business here is to offer up your oaths of office. So I presented you with your papers in front of you. I'm going to go ahead and swear you all in together, and then I'll have you answer in the affirmative, and then you'll sign your oath, and it will be official. So if you will raise your right hand. Do you all swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and of this state, so long as you shall continue a citizen thereof? So help you God.
Affirmative. I do.
Affirmative.
Thank you.
Do you all swear that you will faithfully discharge to the best of your abilities the duties incumbent upon you as a Charter Commission member for the municipality of Winthrop, according to the Constitution and laws of the state, so help you God?
I do. I do.
Duly noted. I'll have you sign your signature there, and you're officially sworn in.
Does anyone need a pen?
We have extras.
Today. It's the 29th.
30th.
30th.
30. Send them down my way. That'd be great. Thanks very much. Thank you. All right, our second order of business is to offer up introductions. I'll begin. My name is Deb Nichols. I've been employed by the town for 2 years now. Began as the executive assistant, and I've been serving as a town clerk since January. I've worked in municipal government for 18 years, mostly in a clerk role. Most of my time was spent at the town of Wheatfield. I've worked in 2 cities, Lewiston and Augusta. I have worked in a few different towns over the years. I have a lifetime certification with the Maine Town and City Clerks Association as a municipal clerk. And I have a bachelor's degree in management organizational studies that I've put into practice quite a bit in my role working for municipal government. I'm a lifelong member of our beautiful community, and I care deeply about it. I have 5 generations of my family that have resided in Winthrop. So, you know, it's an important mission for me to get this charter kicked off and updated and functioning for our town. So I'm happy to be here.
Ladies first, Carrie.
Oh, gosh. My name's Carrie Wilkins. I lived in Winthrop just 30 years, I think. Brought up 2 kids here in Winthrop. I've been a registered nurse for over 30 years and I used to work in the community as a hospice nurse around here. And I recently moved to Express Care about a year ago. My first time doing something like this, I've thought about different things and I thought it would be a first good step to try this out. So.
Going this way.
No, it's all right. Okay, it's fine. Dick Grat, I lived here my whole life. My relatives, my great grandfather was Fred Segale, and they were the founders of 4 founders of Winthrop. They lived right over across the street, up here. My great grandmother had a hospital there back in the 30s and the 40s. And, I've lived in Winthrop, like I said, for 69 years. And have a business here family business, been in business in Winthrop since 1936. I'm not that old, Jim, but anyways, I've raised 3 kids and got 7 grandkids. Kind of I thought I wanted to run for council, but I thought this might be a good start to get your feet wet in doing this, so here I am. I think it's interesting, and I think I'm here to do whatever I can for the best of the town of Winthrop. I was a fireman for 21 years. That's about it. Now it's your turn.
Jim Lamb, I've lived in Winthrop for 38 years, raised 3 kids in the town. All attended public schools here, and 2 of the 3 still live in town. One of them has 3 of my grandchildren, the other one has 1. I'm looking forward to serving on the Charter Commission, just to give back to the community. My career never allowed for me to spend a lot of time doing this type of things. It's my first endeavor at this type of town type meeting and charter and what have you. So I'm looking forward to it and giving back some to the community and hopefully improve the community as much as we can.
Great. I'm Matt Colpitz. Apparently I'm a dupe. I got 8 years in Winthrop. So long time coming before I reach you guys. My day job, I'm a director of treasury and government banking for a bank. So I deal a lot with the town governments throughout the state of Maine. I have see here, I got wife and 2 kids here, and one of them's out there. Wasn't allowed in here. He's wearing a Dolphin sweatshirt. He'll be out there the rest of the day. I'm just happy to help and happy to provide any insight that I can. Look forward to working with you.
Come. All right, I'm Aaron White. I'm one of your counselors. I've grown up, lived in Winthrop, graduated from Winthrop High School, went to college at University of Southern Maine. Actually went to quite a few different places, but that's actually where I ended up getting my degree from. Left Maine for a little while, decided my undergrad's in criminology. I was going to work for the federal government, decided I did not like Washington, D.C. or the heat. So came back, worked throughout all of this for the town EMS service for 15 years, went to PA school, got my degree, came back to Winthrop, and have delved in public policy now also for quite a few years. So I figured this would be a good place to contribute. Thank you.
My turn.
Your turn.
Yeah, Claude, what am I gonna say? All right, my name is Andy West. I started my career out as a cabinet maker. I moved to Maine in 1982 and continued as a tradesman. But the last 31 years of my career, I've been retired for 7 or 8. Whereas an innkeeper and the owner of the Lakeside Motel over on Copsey Lake. Since the beginning of my time in Winthrop, I've been involved in with Lonnie Steves, doing some coaching in the early years. Then the zoning board for, I think, 30 years. And various other civic things. I was part of the 2010 comprehensive plan. Suffice it to say that I've always been involved in civics one way or another. Then a few years back, I ran for town council, and I'm currently a town councilor. That I do.
My name is Bruce Burns. I've lived in Winthrop for 25 years. I married a very nice Winthrop girl. She's lived here over 70 years. And I have 4 children. I moved up here from Philadelphia. I've served on town council and various committees within my industry. I work for a large floor covering distributor called NRF Distributors and have worked there for 25 years. It's a family-run company. I report directly to the owner, and it's been a fun ride. I think that we can all sit down without an agenda and figure out any changes, if there be any, to the town charter that will benefit the taxpayers and our constituents, both in the future, after we're all done with everything here. So I'm anxious to get started, and I think we all have some constructive ideas from the brief conversations I've had with a couple of you, and look forward to working with you all.
Well said, Bruce.
I'm Gil Susi, and I've been in Winthrop for 40 years. Raised two kids that went through the school system. One's in Michigan, unfortunately, and the other one lives in Winthrop, so I'm blessed with that. Had various jobs when you're starting out, as a young man. And then I'd like to say the internet found me when DOS was going around and Windows 3.1, if anybody remembers that. And I had a pretty good aptitude for that, and that really cemented my career path. I was in telecommunications, working for various phone companies for about 30 years. Director of operations down here at Comtel in 2000 to 2002 until Fairpoint came around. But I continued on with Fairpoint. And at my last job was at Unity Telephone, Unitel, where they were rolling out fiber to the home. And so it's been a great ride. I've been retired for 7 years now. Never been busier than anything else. My work with the quarry, for those of you who can remember that far, kind of led me to this path here, to tonight. There are things that we need to review on maybe not an annual basis, but on a consistent enough basis to make sure that we're not falling behind and make sure that we're keeping up with the times. So my work with process and procedures and the legalities of dealing with towns and the town councils and town managers, I think is going to serve me well in this. And again, I'm here to try to make a difference. And like Bruce said, I think we can come up with something good here. So thank you.
My name is Michael Zato. I've been in Winthrop since September of 1985. I practiced anesthesia in the beginning at Augusta, then Waterville, then back to Augusta again. I also have privileges at the VA, St. Mary's and Inland when Inland was running. I've been a past chief of at the department, and I'm currently senior anesthetist there when I'm in the building. And I've strived to serve the community. I have two children, one who's in Manchester, and the other one is out of state. And both of them went through the Winthrop School District.
I'm Anthony Wilson. I'm your town manager, have been for the past 2 years. Like Deb, I have a long career in municipal government. I've worked in municipal government for 17 years in communities that were both larger and smaller than Winthrop, 5 years as a town manager. I worked in a city that had a charter, but this is my first opportunity to actually be involved in the review and possible revision of a charter. When I first arrived here in town, I was surprised at that point that the charter had not been reviewed in 17 years. Best practice in municipal government is that you should do this sort of review every 5 years. That doesn't mean you're going to change it every 5 years, but you should at least be reviewing it to make sure it's keeping up with the times. And I feel like our charter, which was written in 1974, is a bit dated at this point. So I'm really looking forward to this process because kind of a municipal government nerd. I love our industry, have a master's in public administration. I think I can speak for Deb as well. We're just here to support you and your work. So when you have questions, we're going to go and do a lot of the research and legwork in order to provide you the answers that you're looking for as you work through this document.
Thank you, everybody. I think we'll open up the floor to considerations of nominations for our Charter Commission Chair. Do I hear any nominations?
I'd like to nominate Dick Garrett for Charter Commission Chair.
I'm gonna have to renege on that. I'm sorry.
You decline?
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. In consideration of his decline, if I could have the floor for a second nomination, I'd like to nominate Jim LaFlemme.
Second.
First go around here.
Mhm.
That's good. Give you a good introduction.
Trial by fire.
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyone second that nomination?
I'll second that nomination.
Let's call for a vote. Hands? Yay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got everybody? We got 8, right?
Right.
And Jim abstained.
How do you feel now?
Good.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Jim.
Thank you. Still need some coaching, Deb.
Okay, so now, Mr. LaFlemme, the floor is yours. And so you will call for nominations for a vice chair.
I'd like to nominate Bruce Burns as a vice chair.
I'll have to respectfully decline that nomination. Thank you. And if I could, Mr. Chair, I'd like to nominate Michael Zato for the vice chair position.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, slow down a little bit, guys. Right. So Bruce is nominating Mike Zato. And seconded by Dick. Okay, got it. Let's call for a vote. 8-1 recusing, unanimous? Not quite unanimous. Congratulations, Michael.
You? That's up to you. Yep.
Okay, item 5. You good there?
You're good.
Consideration of nominations for the Charter Commission Secretary.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to nominate Gil Susi for secretary's position.
I'd like to respectfully decline that, Bruce. Thank you, though.
Very well.
Appreciate it.
I'll rescind that and ask Terry Wilkins if she'd consider the secretary's position. Okay,
Anyhow, I can, if you want to nominate.
Okay, Matt Colpin.
Matt.
I'll second.
Bruce is going to nominate Matt and seconded by Aaron. Let's call for a vote. It's unanimous to me. Thank you, everybody.
Item number 6. Consideration of the meeting time and dates. Move to establish as the commission's regular meeting time and date. What time works?
6 o'clock.
So,
PM?
so 6 PM. Okay, we got that part.
On the, what day of the month?
The third Monday or Tuesday of the month. Does that conflict with any of the other committees?
Monday is the council typically meets.
Oh, okay. Then the second Monday of the month.
Second Monday or second Tuesday?
Monday.
Is Monday a conflict, Anthony?
It is not.
So second Monday?
Monday?
Unless we move, unless we have holidays on the first Monday, right? Because then we jump to
That
the
is a
second.
consideration. That is a
Well,
consideration.
So I would say Tuesday.
Yeah, you're right. I was thinking about how long this could last, but over the course of a year, we'll likely run into.
And we'll have all the holidays right there, so.
Tuesdays work for me because Mondays and
Right.
Tuesdays are my day
I
off.
noticed you had a facial expression.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy to hear that.
We
Yeah.
need to hear from Karen.
Yeah.
Second Tuesday?
6 PM, second Tuesday.
Well, you have a lot of holidays on Mondays as well.
Yeah,
So,
that bumps it.
we're gonna need a motion on that, so.
Make the motion to move to establish commission's regular meeting times at 6 PM on the second Tuesday of the month. And when,
Can you make a motion as the town councilor?
yeah.
You can?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's full vote-
Yeah,
vote
We're
privileges.
both still on, so it's not like a liaison situation. In the all-purpose room when able.
And a second? Second,
Second
Matt?
Tuesday.
Second Tuesday, yeah.
Let's call for a vote.
Favor?
Unanimous? Thank you. So, starting next week, next month? Next month,
August.
Yeah.
Starting in
The
August.
first week of August?
the first week of August?
Second, so
The
so
second Tuesday
will
of
be
August.
The 12th.
So the first meeting will be the 8/12 at 6 PM.
No. So that's like probably Tuesday.
Yeah, right.
They gave, This is like how our rules are for the town.
So we got all that information.
Yeah. So you can
Discussion,
do whatever you want.
item number 7, discussion, consideration of rules and procedures. We have all the rules of town council, Robert's rules sitting here in front of us.
That means you rule everything.
So we're gonna follow.
So if I may, Mr. Chair, so we provided you the rules of the town council, just as a basis of consideration. I think it's, most people are familiar with Robert's Rules of Order. I think that's probably a pretty good template to use for your meetings moving forward. But if you want to do something different than that, that's obviously up to the commission's discretion.
Your discretion.
Mr. Chairman.
Be the chair.
I'd like to make a motion to use the Robert's Rules of Order as the guidelines for the Charter Commission.
Any discussion?
Okay, hold on. Robert's Rules of Order. Is there a second to that motion? Thanks, Gil.
And then you ask if there's any
Any
discussion.
discussion?
And then.
I worry a little bit about Robert's rules. I wonder if we shouldn't stick to the town council rules. Robert's rules can get pretty complicated if someone wants to
That's what we
become
use.
argumentative.
Isn't that what we use?
Just for this occasion, I
We do use Robert's rules.
the abridged version of Robert's Rules.
We use the rules of
Yeah.
the town council. It's not the same
Similarities and they do overlap somewhat.
similarities, but we're not obligated to use the Robert's rules at the town council meetings.
What are your,
I've
what's
just
the difference?
quite a lot of complications and, germane off the wall.
I think the basics are the same. You make a motion. I mean, the way that the council operates, you make motions, you amend motions if necessary.
From a protocol standpoint, it's a guideline for us to follow. As far as being etched in stone with complications, this is an exchange of ideas. This isn't an agendized committee.
I'll go with that.
And the chairs ultimately would have, I would think, the
Final say.
authority to make that flexibility.
I'll go with that.
So I guess that.
Anybody-
Ask for a vote. Any further discussion?
Any further discussion? Robert's rules?
Make a motion, we accept them.
I'll second.
So we have a
Still have
motion.
We'll just vote on this, the motion on
Okay.
the floor.
Okay, very good. So
Same, thank you, same. Vote.
Oh, all in favor to accept the Robert's rules as a protocol?
unanimous?
I do have a
Yeah.
question.
Pretty good at this, Jim.
We get a copy? Should we get
Next
a?
meeting.
So oddly enough, I thought that it might be available online, but it's not, unless you buy a digital version. And so these are like $20 a piece or whatever. So I'd rather not incur the expense, and we'll just make sure that we have this should a question ever arise. And again,
Get out from the.
Deb and I and Aaron and Andy will be here to guide.
It's not gonna be a page.
So could you access any information in that
Yes, sir.
and on, Google something on Robert's rules and we'll get it?
Um,
I'm sure you could.
probably with ChatGPT
Probably
rather than Google
Yeah,
at this point. Yeah.
Probably.
Probably YouTube it.
Okay, item number 8, Freedom of Access Act requirements.
We have a link, but not a, do we have a memo?
There is a memo in your packet, and really and truly, I think Deb wanted to walk you guys through the FOAA simply because you are now subject to the Freedom of Information Act.
It's on text on your phone.
Yeah, if I have the floor, there's a lot of information in this packet that really is a little bit of overkill, but it is good information. I did take the time to go through it and try to highlight what would really pertain to you. You're welcome to read it through at your leisure. You are all subject to that as part of a public service. These are all public meetings and they are open to the public, and the idea of a public meeting is to deliberate in public, not to have side conversations or what have you. The purpose of it is to make it transparent for everybody to participate. If you want to look through your packet real quickly, I'm going to point out a couple of little things here.
And before we go too far into that,
Yep.
Is each member going to be assigned an email address? Town email address so they can do
Yeah.
without having to compromise their own?
We hadn't discussed that. I don't know what the options are available for that, but we can certainly look into that if it's.
We can assign email addresses. Comes with a slight cost to the town, but as soon as your work is done, then we'll just eliminate the addresses.
Okay, anyways. And we're supposed to have an office, by the way, according to statute. Put it in.
You're welcome to use my office there.
Oh. Okay, all right.
Well, why is,
Someone's done their homework. Thank you, Aaron.
You're welcome.
it's everything we do is public. I mean, is there any particular reason why the members that aren't counselors can't be assigned to the council email account? Because I'm sure the other counselors are gonna kind of want to know what's going on anyway.
Well, so keep in mind that those accounts are individual in nature, so it's not a group account. When I send out emails, I to the council, I created an email string that includes all the council members, but that's not a singular email address.
Yeah.
And so in this instance, you will each need your own email addresses, as Aaron suggested, simply because if we do receive an FOAA request for all of your written communications, we're going to be the ones who are going to have to gather that information, and we can do that most easily if you have a town address.
No, it's the same reason we have them.
And I would encourage you all not to try to text because that's subjects your personal phones to a search if not that it may come down to that. So who knows what might come down the road. So I would encourage you to use your publicly provided emails to communicate if you should need to do so.
Yeah,
Face to face.
I think that's an
Yeah.
important
Yeah,
distinction to
Yeah.
underscore is that
Call. Just don't.
yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
that texts are also subject to the Freedom of Access Act. And so you are legally bound to provide those texts. And what you don't want is someone seizing your personal device, should there be a suspicion that that's not being done. And not that we would do that, but the state attorney general's office might do that.
Or someone of the public might make that request, and so we'd have to
They
do
do.
our diligence, so. Just quickly flipping through this, you're welcome to read this at your leisure. You're not required to take the training, but you are all subject to the law. If you want to reflect down, I'm sorry, these are not there's no page numbers on here, but I just want to make note that your emails are public record. In that, anything. You can look at your leisure at what determines a public proceeding, which is basically your public meeting. And so whenever 3 or more of you are joined in a group, whether it becomes a meeting. So I want to caution you to like having parking lot meetings or like coffee shop meetings. 2 of you are fine, but 3 of you talking and deliberating is something you don't want to do because the purpose of this public meeting is to deliberate in public. So
Is that with 3 or a quorum?
It's 3 under the law.
Yeah, okay.
2 are fine, but 3 or more is basically an illegally called meeting. So
Does that, the information you gave us, does that show that?
it does, yeah. And I tried to highlight those ones that I thought might be of particular interest to you, but it is in here. So if you have
There-
any questions about it
Yeah, there is
later on.
there is a subheading, public proceedings. The third item that is, the second item that is highlighted in that ask, when does a meeting or gathering of members of a public body or agency require public notice? That means we would have to post an agenda. Public notice is required of all public proceedings if the proceedings are a meeting of a body or agency consisting of 3 or more persons. So as Deb says, one of the traps that sometimes elected bodies fall into is they have the meeting after the meeting that occurs in the parking lot. And that potentially puts the organization at some risk.
That's specific to business though, right? Like meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely,
If you're talking about the
definitely. Yeah,
Patriots
yeah,
game,
yeah,
then
yeah.
it's-
We'd run into
it's
a
fine.
problem. There's 2 counselors like here, right? So any of us that ended up going to a council meeting would like right now, we have a quorum.
Well, this is a
Right.
posted meeting.
Right, true.
And it's, the idea is to deliberate publicly, so that's why we call attention to that. It's very important as part of our transparency, so.
Thought it was very helpful, and maybe possibly you could arrange to have anybody that's interested take that Maine municipal course.
And they actually
Yeah,
have one
freedom of
available in
information.
Yeah, they actually have one available in September. It's a webinar, lasts about an hour. Bruce, is that your
Yeah.
recollection?
It was about an hour and a half, but it was very informative. It
Yes.
was an open question and answer period, which really
Mhm.
prolonged it. But I think just the gist of it was about an hour in content.
Yeah. So if anyone is interested in that, then let either Deb or I know and we'll get you signed up.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do so.
It's incredibly helpful if anybody's interested.
Can you repeat exactly the
It's the
name?
freedom, it's the Right to Know Act. It's freedom of access
So
and
the Maine Municipal Association offers this sort of training on a regular basis. And the next time that they're doing that is in the month of September, and it's a webinar. You know what? Tomorrow we'll email you when that occurs. That way, if you're interested, you can let us know, and then we'll sign you up.
It's well worth the hour. It really is.
I have a question, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Okay, I can't imagine why at this point we would want to do this, but if we should decide to call an executive session, or that is a session where only the Charter Commission members are present, is that legal in this format?
I can address that. It's certainly legal to do so, but you have to cite the specific law reasons that you would do that under the state law. One is for personnel. And I'd be happy to share that information with you, but we have to require public notice, and you also cannot vote on anything in a public session. You have to deliberate in your executive session. You have to deliberate in that, and then you have to close that session, and then you have to vote publicly if you decide to do
Not a
that.
vote.
Yeah, and Bill will be able to.
Yeah, definitely. The town attorney can address that too. And there's like 5 different, that would pertain to being able to do so. And they're very specific, but it is something that you are able to do if you feel that you desperately need to do so. Yeah.
But do keep in mind, that's not a way to circumvent the openness of a meeting. It has
I
to be
don't think
something.
anybody intends to
I'm-
prevent the
well-
openness of the meeting.
And Andy, I mean, you and Aaron and Bruce are intimately familiar with this, but the others may not be, is that sometimes an elected body wants to engage in a conversation that's a little uncomfortable. And that's not a reason to have an executive session discussion. It has to be very specific to the law. And even if you're dealing with personnel matters, there's even more specificity to that. You can't talk about, say, just a group of employees. It has to be specific employees. And sometimes those employees also have the right to be part of those conversations, depending upon the nature of the conversation.
Deborah,
I have a couple more things I want to address real quickly. Uh, Did that one. I want to make the secretary, Matthew, aware of the fact of what your duties are, and you need to, and you'll note in here what you need to do. There needs to be a record, a public record of your recording, and I'm happy to assist you in any of that and pulling them all together.
Yep.
But we have to make sure, as a secretary, that you are technically responsible to communicate that with me, but we need to capture that. You're legally required to provide minutes of your meetings, and we need to make that promptly and openly available for public inspection. You'll vote on those to accept them at your next meeting, in case anybody hasn't participated in a board that's done that in the past, but you must capture your votes, so that's critical, but they don't need to be great detailed narratives, just the essential matters captured and the votes. So just a heads up on that, so.
you'll have it in your.
And
You guys have that in the morning?
No, but I've done.
you want to make sure you do a roll call each time as well. So other than that, that's done. If anyone has any questions over that, read it through at your leisure. We'll send you over a link to sign up for that training at MMA. And whoever's wants to take advantage of that, I'd encourage that.
Will
So
Matt be able to access the Zoom
Yes. Yes, so
Definitely.
we will post the recording of this meeting first thing tomorrow morning on the town's YouTube channel.
We're still using the Zoom summary, or is that just like in trial?
So we'll provide Matt that and then he can just determine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe,
what, if
maybe, it
anything,
might
he
feel like
wants to
it's
use.
overkill, but yeah.
Yeah.
All yours.
They're here for you.
Yours.
Okay, item number 9, charter commission steps. I'd like to ask Anthony to discuss that with us.
Sure. So I provided you 2 memos here. And I'm not going to bore you by reading through the first memo, but it outlines sort of what this process is going to be over the next 12 months. And these are things that are statutory in nature. So for instance, legally, within 30 days of this meeting, we have to have a public hearing at which the public can come and provide you with their thoughts. And that has to receive at least 10 days notice. That means we've got to post the agenda for that on our website at least 10 days in advance of that meeting. We know that meeting is going to occur now on August the 12th.
Okay.
So we will post that. But the rest of this sort of walks you through what's going to happen over the next year. And this is a year-long process and reviewing this document.
Just for the clarity for the chair, that will be an agenda item that we'll go over and ask about public input, and that satisfies that.
So it'll be like you see at a council meeting, Aaron, where we will have a public hearing. We will notify the public that this is occurring. They can come and provide them. And basically your job during that public hearing is to listen.
But then we can currently then have our regular meetings.
Yes. Yeah. And then just so you know, well, and that gets to the second memo that I provided here. It was not linked to the agenda. This just occurred to me today to provide this. But at the second meeting, the town attorney is going to come and he's going to provide you some legal guidance on your work that is ahead of you. And he's going to point out, and I've asked him to go ahead and look at the charter and see where it is in conflict with state law, because we know there are parts of the charter right now that no longer conform to state law. He's going to provide you that guidance.
Is that August 12th?
That's August 12th.
This is our first, right?
Yes.
It's going to be Phil.
Bill Socher, who is the town's attorney. He's an attorney with Bernstein Sure
Yep.
and one of the best municipal attorneys in the state.
So
So-
just to follow up, are we going to be doing at their August 12th meeting? We're going to be calling the public hearing that day as well.
Yes.
So we'll need to get that posted ASAP. Okay.
Yeah, before the second.
Yep.
So this is just a proposal for your consideration on this second memo. But I went through the charter, and it looks like there's some good breaks where you may want to like tackle 1 or 2 chapters per meeting. And so again, this is just a proposal for your consideration, but the second meeting we'll hear from the town attorney. And then Deb and I are also going through the charter and we're making some notes for your consideration. So we'll just provide you that. We won't do a big presentation. We'll just provide you and then you will have time to read it and reflect on that. The third meeting, one of the things that we could do is then start breaking the charter down. So Articles 1 and 2, together they're about 3 pages. One is the grant of powers to the town, which is standard in a charter. It's only 1 paragraph long. And then we've got essentially 3 pages of charter that deal with the town council. So that might be something you might want to just consider, just those articles alone in the third meeting. The fourth meeting, you could tackle Articles 3 and 4, which deal with the town manager and then the Department of Education. So I'm sure you all know the Winthrop Public Schools is a municipal school department. So this charter also covers our school system as well. All told, that's about 2 pages, but we plan on inviting the superintendent and she's been provided a copy of the charter so she can begin reflecting on it. And the school board will also be invited to that meeting so that you can ask questions of them, sort of what are their current practices, what are best practices, and hear from them. The next meeting, you could tackle Articles 5 through 8. Those are fairly short in nature, each one of them, but it's 2.5 pages all total. That deals with the budget, very important, tax administration, municipal development, which is sort of planning board and so forth, nominations and elections. And then at the meeting after that, you could tackle the last two, 9 and 10, which deal with the initiative, referendum, and recall. So that's a very important chapter as well. And then general provisions, which is sort of boilerplate in nature. I'm going to send this document to you tomorrow as well. And we've included some hot links to some main towns that have recently updated their charter within the last 5 years. And you can just look at their charters and get an idea of what other towns' charters look like. Now, when I did the research on this, I was specifically looking at towns. So cities, so like Portland or Augusta or Bangor, they also have charters, but they're much larger in nature. I mean, they're much more complex organizations. So we really tried to focus on towns with the charters that we're providing.
Business.
The business,
You're
of
gonna-
business.
Out of business.
Yeah. As some of you know, during the quarry fiasco that lasted over 2 years, we did a lot of posting on Facebook in a private group, of which over 600, I'd like to call them families, but at least 600 individuals were signed up and were receiving regular updates on what was happening. What's the legality of me doing that with this group? It's public information, right? So there's absolutely should be no, other than what's discussed in executive sessions. I understand that's off the table. But in the interest of transparency, I see 3 people online here today. I see maybe five or six folks, including your son out there, that are here. The town doesn't know what we're doing here tonight, other than a meeting that was posted. One of the most common complaints that I get and others get is we don't know what's happening in town. So this would be a great way, I think, to get the public energized. And again, maybe it won't, maybe it'll just be, falling on deaf ears. But I think it'd be a great concept to kind of summarize. I'm not looking at a 10-page summary after every meeting, but just a few things. If anybody's ever been on the Monmouth YouTube, somebody in Monmouth has a YouTube channel and they post a summary of the town meeting, the town council meeting or the board of selectmen. I don't know what form of government they have. Very, very informative. I urge you to take a peek at it. And it's 10 minutes long and he just summarizes what's going on at that particular meeting in layman's terms. Again, I understand Robert's rules and the motions and all that, but for a lot of people, that really doesn't mean an awful lot. So if there's no drastic objection to me doing that, I'm not going to step on the secretary's toes, but I think a little, a synopsis of what we've discussed here would be something I'd like to do.
Would you just be doing it from your own?
Chair? Excuse me, in regards to that, I think we should check with the attorney because this is a little bit different than a chat group for a quarry. Or the mooring committee or something like that, the mooring group. I think that because we're dealing with something, not that those weren't important, but this affects everybody. And I have no objections to it, other
Right.
than the legality of
Right.
it.
And that's why I brought it up, was
Yeah.
to make sure that
I don't know.
want to
did
go
you
off on my
concur with
own
that?
here.
I have a suggestion. I think it's an excellent idea. And we actually have a vehicle for doing that in the town's Facebook page. And what I might suggest is if one of you, Gil, wants to send us a summary after each of your meetings, we're happy to post that on the town's Facebook page.
Okay. What I would like, in order to leverage the number of eyeballs that we see, that there's going to have to be some type of campaign that sends people. How many viewers do you get on your Facebook page now?
So I can tell you real quick.
Okay.
But one of the things that we can do is we can boost the page on Facebook in order to try
Yeah.
to draw more eyeballs. in.
The
So
whole idea is to get people in town to know what it is, because again, they might have some ideas that we're gonna have some ideas in here, but somebody else might have some ideas on, and it doesn't mean that we're gonna, it doesn't mean that we're gonna grab them, but at
Well,
least
there's
listen to the
no
vote.
objection to grabbing something. Benefits us as a town.
About,
Absolutely.
I'm not a great big fan of the Facebook thing. I'll think about it. And obviously it's I'm just always concerned about who's gonna
Opinions.
monitor it, opinions,
Yeah.
and people just getting out of hand.
You
So,
can close the comments.
Well, and we try not to do, there's a legal issue with that.
Okay.
Your municipality of doing that. And so, Karen, I understand your concerns. Fortunately, we haven't really faced that in the time that I've been here. And occasionally, the other Facebook followers are your best friends in that they sort of shut down some of the nonsense
yeah,
themselves.
there's good things.
so,
and
um,
Not
Jamie.
disagreeing, but
Well, I was gonna
Jump
suggest,
in.
that we don't have a lot of time left. And in the spirit of starting off on the right foot, we give everybody that's come to watch this meeting a chance for a couple of minutes of tell us what you're thinking.
second that.
Maybe we don't want to hear it, who knows, but
Into what you guys were talking about, what Gil brought up is in, I don't know, Anthony, was more of a question, I wanted to hear it. Kind of dabbling with the summary of the minutes. And we were talking about using AI generating, maybe we could kind of formulate everything together in a respective way. And then we can post it on Facebook. But is that an idea maybe for this group to use something to that vehicle, or can we use that?
Yeah, I think so. So what we can do is, when this meeting is over with, like that, Zoom will create a meeting summary through its AI tool. We will forward that to you guys. You can say, yeah, we like this, we don't like this, we think this is right, we think this is wrong. And if you want to use that as sort of the basis for a post, then we can definitely do that. In answer to your question, Gil, currently we have 3,800 followers.
Mhm.
And last week our reach was 35,000 people.
Awesome.
It's pretty strong.
Awesome.
it's growing. We try.
And then that AI thing saves me a lot of typing. I love it.
Yeah, that's the key part of it. And I think too, before you post that though, you need to review. You can encourage people to get the announcement.
Working on that policy.
On that.
now.
If that's not already there, Anthony.
I'm sorry, say that again.
On that Facebook posting, is there a way to boost the people that can sign up to get the automatic announcement?
The only thing we can do with that, Jim, is encourage people. So there's a difference between liking a page and following a page. And if you follow a page, it will show up in your news feed. And so the only thing we can do is try to encourage people to follow the page.
But we need to sign up for the announcements to get the meeting.
Subscribe to e-alerts.
So one of the things that we could also do, so on our website, we do have the Winthrop alerts
Yes.
in which people sign up for, and we can create a category for the Charter Commission. And if you guys want to post a statement after each one of your meetings, then we can do that and send it out as an email alert.
It's helpful to get it, because I know if I've missed something, and I get it now before I was on the council, but now I'm on the council, I get double indemnity. So, but one email, I'm gonna get something that's happening in the town. which is
Yeah.
Very helpful. I don't know, a lot of people know about it, but it's.
The other part to that is, did we develop, I think I had mentioned this in one of the council meetings, a page off of or on our town website dedicated to this commission?
It's already there.
Yeah,
It is.
we have it.
And when we get email addresses for each person, can we have that linked in
Yep,
It
there, just the way we do with the council?
That will happen as well.
And it'll submit.
definitely.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Awesome. That's where I wanted to go with that.
Yeah.
Who else we got? We got a couple other people who want to speak. on that.
online as well.
Do we have?
Shay is raising her hand. So, Mr. Chair, if you want to recognize
Mr. Chair.
Shay Dulac. Shay, the floor is yours.
Yeah, anything that is posted publicly on the town's Facebook website or the town website or emailed can be reposted anywhere. It is legally okay.
Great.
I just,
Yeah,
I
so
just, I just double check that.
Yeah. So I think what she's getting at, Gil, if you wanted to repost on the Quarry Group, for instance, what's posted on the
Mhm.
town's Facebook page,
Mhm.
that might reach a wider audience.
I would just make sure that you're all in agreement about what Gil's posting. just so it's not just an opinion. Yeah,
I
yeah.
would post what the group agrees to post. I wouldn't go off on
Right.
the tangent here today.
Well, sweet.
In the back.
I do think listening to everything, and with the quarry, I remember it was very informative for everybody in town. And I think under the circumstances of what we've gone through the last few years, I think it's super important for this group to be very transparent and to include the community. I think it's gonna benefit everybody in the end. I do. So I think it would be very good thing to do.
I think that's the
100%
plan.
agree. Hopefully that's the plan. That is the plan.
Yeah, it's a plan.
That's why we're all here.
Stephen has a question.
Stephen, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Yes.
I just have two comments. One, I'd just like to encourage you when you're thinking about the public meeting to consider how you frame that and set it up for community members who have never been part of a charter review and may not be informed as others. Oftentimes a public hearing is started with, we're opening a public hearing without contextualizing for the community members who are attending. And that can be a pretty intimidating process, being asked to provide comment at a public meeting in a formal setting without one runway describing what the meeting is for and what the goals are. So I would just like to encourage you to think about how you can set that up intentionally for the best positive outcome, right? The goal of the public hearing is for you to elicit feedback from your neighbors. And the best way to do that is to create an environment where they're as informed and prepared as possible. And I'm happy to talk further about that if you have any questions. I guess the second part is about this conversation about what people say and don't say. I'm not sure that the committee has the ability to restrict somebody's speech. The committee might decide that they're not making a formal statement and that person is acting on their own behalf, but I don't think the committee can determine who says what as a person. So you just may want to consider how you are or are not inhibiting somebody's speech rights. Thank you all.
Thank you, Steve.
So his first point, just kind of, do I have to ask for permission? to
No,
speak?
no, open discussion.
Should we have a mission statement?
Great idea. It's all you, Carrie. What do you think?
I think we should, but I mean,
I agree.
I think I'd like to hear from whoever else is here if they have anything to say, but I mean, maybe we should. Because that would take some time to be thoughtful about it, but I think a mission statement might be nice.
I was kind of thinking the mission was self-evident, but on the other hand, it may be beneficial to have it delineated.
Be
Keep us
complicated.
going
Yeah.
straight and narrow.
Who's gonna present the agendas moving forward? Who's gonna construct them?
So
Second,
I-
we can rely on you
I-
guys for
so
that.
this is the way that we operate with the town council, is staff drafts a proposed agenda, present it to the chair. Chair says, looks good. Nope, let's do this. Nope, let's do that. Let's add this, let's subtract that, whatever. And then we post it.
And then clarify if anyone else wanted to add an agenda piece, just as it is, we should go to Jim. And then Jim can bring it to whichever member of the staff is going to be drafting and talk about it. Yeah.
I do suspect that these agendas will be fairly simple. Especially if we're going to do it just sort of like chapter by chapter. Discussion of Article 1. You know,
But we'll have to add it. That would be an agenda piece.
that is correct. Yeah, if you were going to discuss and consider a mission statement, then that in and of itself would be an agenda.
We need to do that first meeting.
Yeah.
About that mission statement.
Mr. Chair, I would just like to say, we don't want to rush this and not do it right. But we do have to remember that it looks like we have 12 meetings to get a whole pile of work done. So we want to operate as efficiently as possible. Okay, and if we're gonna have our regular meetings, with the public is certainly welcome to be here, and I still think prime constraints notwithstanding, they should have an opportunity for a comment. And we've only heard from one or two people over there, so, I just hate to have people feel like they didn't have their.
So style wise, the way the council does it, we have an opportunity at the beginning and like it's here at the end. That's your call. I think so.
Mr. Chair, I believe Mrs. Steele has a question for you.
Mrs. Steele?
I'm kind of going back in my head to the executive session. What in this would warrant an executive session?
I'm not sure. To be honest with you. I'm being honest. I mean, I don't know, and I'm not speaking for the group, Mr. Chair, but,
I think if there was something that we needed to have, I think he wanted clarity if that was something this commission could do.
Right,
If
I'm just
needed.
wondering what it would.
I don't know of anything that would be needed. Yes. And we've all said, just, betterment for the community, transparency, get more people involved.
There's very specific. And it would- It would be guided by the town
Yeah, I think
attorney.
Anthony mentioned
I was
that.
just curious. I just felt
No, it's-
confused about it. I
Yeah.
guess I didn't expect that, but thank you.
Mr. Chair, to speak to Stephen's first point, I think our town attorney can sort of give an overview of what a charter is, why it's important, what it means to do, to sort of set the stage for the public hearing at your next meeting.
He's gonna be available for
Yes.
the entirety of
Well,
it.
you know what? So now I need to check with Phil to make sure he's available. He's usually pretty accommodating, but he does have other clients. So
We may need to, well, I mean, for the public hearing portion of it, I think he needs to be available.
are you saying in person versus on Zoom or?
No, I guess Zoom's fine. He's in Portland, right?
do we get a break on the rate if it's on Zoom?
Do
we have to
Yes.
full market?
Well, yes, because he doesn't charge us for travel.
There you go. We'll go with that.
That's the only.
Somewhere Mary charges that.
Well,
Oh, wait, unless James has a better
I do
idea.
have a question on that. Don't we have we're tied into one price with them anyway.
yeah, we do.
It is, that's
Does this fall
true.
Into that?
That's, yes. So this work will fall into that, but if he has to travel here, then.
Oh, I
we still
understand
get
that. I would just
Charged that rate.
overall,
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all enclosed, just so you guys know, when you
So
need his advice,
It's
go through the chair.
Okay.
And he'll contact Anthony, and you guys can have that relationship, but if you need to talk to the lawyer, it's the chair to Anthony.
He's not otherwise going to be
Only,
charging us by the hour.
the only caveat that you have to remember to that is that I'm sure next year's contract, the law firm will be based on this year's usage. So, we don't want to just say, oh, gee, it's,
This is a one-time thing anyway.
so,
For the next 5 years.
yeah.
Minimal.
Minimum.
Anyway, I'm all set for now.
I have a question to Anthony. This attorney contract, Mr. Steele brought up a good point. I understand that the town has a contract with this attorney firm. And it's a one set price for, I guess, I've been told for the year. But then they're gonna at the end of the contract and you can tell me if this is true or not, is that they're gonna review the hours and participation that they perform for the town, review it, and then would there be an additional charge after they made the review?
Potentially, it's like insurance.
It's
So,
not a renegotiation.
so the experience, so the rate is based on the experience, just like with insurance. And so, for instance, this year, rate remained exactly the same.
Mhm.
That's if we stayed with it. Correct.
Correct.
Like they can't then just charge us after the fact.
No, this is part of the contract.
Yeah, okay, all right. So that, okay.
So there are certain services that are part of the contract.
Right, like retainer stuff.
So this is not litigation. It's not collective bargaining.
Okay.
This is part of the contract.
They'll look at this year's usage, propose a new contract for next year. We can accept it, reject it, look for other attorneys.
Oh,
Well, that's a
okay.
town
Fine by
council
me.
matter, right?
Yeah, it is.
So it doesn't involve the charter.
Right, but some people have questions.
Well, I
No,
don't,
that's,
I,
I mean, I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know?
No?
Oh.
Okay.
So we don't call them willy-nilly. But we're not overly judicious in contact. We contact them when we need them, and so far,
His name was Matt.
so far it's worked out well.
And then,
Oh, it's Phil.
Yeah.
Oh, you said willy-nilly. I thought he changed his name as another attorney for the firm. I'm sorry.
Here we go.
Mr.
Willy-nilly.
You have any comments?
No, I left mine.
Did anyone else want to speak? Just.
Mr. Chair, I'd just like to recognize all the folks who are coming. I think it's great. I hope that we get a lot of participation. And one thing caught my eye when Anthony was talking about the school committee and the superintendent of school and the school board. Well, I think that we need to get some of these young families with kids in the school to somehow attend these meetings, especially for the school. Because I think it's wonderful and we're probably gonna get some really good ideas
This is the time.
from a lot of them. And I feel that this is a joint thing.
Yep.
With us and the community to make the community a better place.
Very well said.
Very well put.
I think it's, sorry, Sandy, go ahead.
Yeah, the school has that, well, it used to have a phone service that would notify families. Is that something that you could announce the meetings through so that they get notification?
I'll have to speak with the superintendent about that.
Yeah, we certainly should for that section especially.
It's important.
And keep in mind, I mean, basically, you're building a framework. So that's not, so charters aren't meant to be like nitty-gritty detail. They build a framework within which a government operates. This is our constitution.
The guardrails.
Mhm.
Shay has a comment.
Jay, you're up.
Winthrop does have a PTO group. It was the PTA, and I'm a member of that. I don't know what's actually happening with that, so I will reach out to the group that is in charge, the people that's in charge of that, and see what is happening with the former PTA group.
Thank you. Comments?
I think we're good.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:03.
Second.
Who seconded? Thank you, Andy.
Any discussion? Jimmy?
A good time. Let's keep this going.
Yeah,
Call for vote, Mr. Chair.
Yep.
Is that unanimous adjourned? Thank you.